Hello world. Learning coding is an interesting activity. We learn by concept and projects. In this episode of learning, I made a plan to enhance your coding skill by an interesting and engaging project, which you will build and learn with playing with yourself and with your friends. In this video tutorial, we are going to create a quiz game using Python and request library for accessing API. This project make your learning interesting and also add a good project in your portfolio. We have divided these projects in 5 parts, which are fetching question from the API, making list of the question IDs, will ask a user a random question. Once a user gives the answer, if it's correct, we will assign user a plus point. If not, we will append a list called incorrect list with a question number. And 5, remove the asked question from the question list. So this will be our structure of a code. So let's write the code for it. So in our project, we will use these two libraries, request and random. Request we will use for fetching the API details, which are question list. And random we will use to randomly ask question to the user based on the question list we have. After that, we will define our script to be run as a main method or main file. So we will define name equals to main, and quiz game will be our name of the function. So next, we have defined two variables. The point variable will holds the positive integer value which we reward the user on each correct answers. If user gives the 3 correct answers, we will store 30 points. And another variable is incorrect list. Incorrect list will hold the question number for which the user have given the wrong answer. If user have given the wrong answer for question number, let's say 2 and 5, so we will hold question list as a 2 and 5, and with respect to the answer what the user has given for the question number 2 and 5. Now we will use the try and except handling. In the try block, we will fetch the question list from the given API, which is Django project apis.versal.app/quiz. This API will return the list of questions if everything goes right. When everything goes right from the try, main execution directly enter into the else part. If something went wrong, so try request, if met with any sort of error, it will raise the exceptional request and print the error. If everything goes right, then control will enter into the else part where we will write the entire code. In else part, we will give the user to quit the game at any point of time. So we have provided to quit with Q or X. We will use this flags at the latest stage of code, so user can quit the game at any instant if we don't want to continue. Let's begin the game with a name. So user must have a name, or we assume that he can enter any of the values, so we can congratulate or greet the user. So let's say, hey T-coders, you played well and you got this point out of this, something like that. So our main thing start from here. We'll collect how many questions we have as of now, which is getting returned from that API. So we are just counting the total number of questions that API has written, 10, 100, 1000, whatever it could be. So we have collected the number of questions in this variable, which is total questions. So we can understand that this many questions we have, and based on this many questions, we can ask the user the questions. But the thing is, we have to limit the number of questions to be asked. If say API returns 1000 questions, so we cannot ask 1000 questions on the same game. So what we will do, we will set the counter as a 5. Only 5 questions out of 1000 will be asked. So this variable will help us to find the number of questions we have returned by the API, and using the key or using the custom count variable, we will ask only the 5 questions out of the question we received. So user will play for the 5 question. Once the 5 question is asked, the game will end. And again he want to play the game again, he can rerun the code. This time again the 5 question with a different questions. The question to be asked will remain the 5, but every time questions and its answer will change according to the questions we have. So let's assume we ask top 5 question for the first game, next 5 question in the second, next 5 question in the third. So we have variety of question till we cover all the 1000 questions. So here what we did, we first collected the question number or question IDs which API has returned us. The question we are getting from the API will have question number, the question itself, the 4 given options and 1 correct answer. So what we are going to do, collecting the list of IDs. Every question must be having a specific ID. So let me show you how the question list will have the details of the question. So let me run this part of code and we'll show you, and later we'll write more on this. So if I run this code, you can see this API fetches all the questions which was in the API database and stored inside the question list variable. So now we can see the question list variable has 27 questions, and every questions and question list is the list of dictionaries, and every dictionary contain these 7 attributes. First is the ID itself. Example, this is the question. We have 4 different options, option 1, 2, 3 and 4. And again we have another key, name is answer, which is the actual answer of that question. So we'll use ID to get the question ID, because if we want to access this question, so how we can access this question? We can access this question based on the ID 5. So we have mapped the IDs from the given list. So this variable will only have the IDs of the question. So let's assume we have 1000 questions. So this variable will hold IDs of those 1000 questions. Right now we have on 27 questions. So IDs will hold around a list of IDs which be having the same length as the question. 27 IDs will be held by this variable. Previously I told you about that we cannot ask the user all 1000 questions at once. So what we are doing, we are asking only 5 questions. Once the 5 questions ends, the game ends. So next we will have the question asked counter. So this counter or this question asked counter will count how many questions has been asked to the user. Now the main part is using the another library as random. So see, we have this IDs variable which holds all the question IDs returns by this API. So because we are fetching IDs from this question only, so this will hold all the IDs of all the questions which is returned by the API. We will now randomly pick any one ID from that IDs. When we filter the thing based on ID, we are looking ID 5 inside this question list which has the ID as 5. So it will return me that question, specifically that one question. So if we get the question, we will +1 with the total question, because length of the question list start with the indexing 0. So we cannot show the user as a question number 0. So what we will do, we will show question number 1. And how we can achieve that? We will achieve the question number, total question +1 minus length of IDs. So we'll create a data, question data, which is question number calculated from here. So we are having the list of dictionaries. So by fetching with the question number, we get a single list having a single dictionary. We are indexing it as 0. That means single list with the element 0, and element 0 have a dictionary which have the key as a question. So we will print the question with a question mark and the question number derived from this line. So we will provide option A for questions having the options as list of question as indexing 0, the option 1, option 2, option 3 and option 4. We have created a dictionary, name is question data. Question data holds question number we have calculated from there as question number 1 in the question itself. Then option A will give the option 1 from the question we are fetching from the API. Option B, whatever the option B will be there. C for option 3, D for option 4. So question data will contain these 5 keys: question number, A, B, C and D. So question number will contain the number of questions which we have computed. A, the option A, B, the option B, C, the option C and D, the option 4. Now finding out the answer key from the question which we received from the API. So what we will do, because from the API we are getting a key name for the answer is answer. So what we will do, we will create a list comprehension. What it do, from question data dot items, which are this, because we just want to fetch the answer, but we do not have to show the user, are using the answer key for the backend check only, that whatever the user have given the answer is correct or not. And how we can do that, we must know 2 major things: the answer given by the user and the answer we got from the question, the API. What we will do, from the question dot items will give all the keys and values of this question data, the key and value. If value is equals to question, because as we are trying to accessing the question of 0 index, because we are getting question as a terms of like this, we are getting question and the dictionary, question, option 1, 2, 3, 4 and answer, something like this. So we are trying to access the first index using this and the key of that dictionary using this. So we have created the answer. If value, the value inside the well is matched to the question, we will get the answer. Print the data. Let's append the answer inside this question data dictionary. So what we will do, we will append the answer as a 5th element with the key as answer and the actual answer from the API. So let's see the code till here by line. So we have created 2 variables, point and incorrect list as a variable. We have fetched the question, and after fetching the questions, we get the list of question. See, there is a list of dictionaries. Every index of the list is having a unique dictionary. See, total question will be the length of the question we received from the API. So see, total question is 27. And now we are going to create the list of questions based on their IDs. So see, we have now question IDs. As we can see, the first question ID is 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, similar 3, 5, 7. So we creating the list of IDs of the questions. Now we have picked a random ID from this ID list. So let's say this time our code has picked a question number 19 as a question to ask. Let's filter the question number ID. That means we are just finding the question having the ID as 19. So see, this is the question having the ID 19, and this I will hold question number option 1, 2, 3, 4 and the answer. So what we have received inside the question, which is a list having a single question in the format of dictionary. So to access that dictionary, we just need to index with a 0. So we can get the question 1. Now total question is question number 1, because total question was 27 plus 1, 28. Total length of IDs is 27. So 28 minus 27, which is question number 1. Question number 1 is the question itself, the 4 options and the answer. Now what we are doing, till now we have created question data. Question data is 1 question, A oxygen, B something, C something, D hydrogen, right? But till now our question data don't have the answer for this question. So we have created the answer that in the question data items, if the value is equals to actual answer from the question itself, holds the value, then we'll return the answer key and append next key as a element as answer and the actual answer. So let me show you that. Now the question data contains a new key, answer, and the option answer mapped with our format. So nitrogen was the actual answer, and how we have mapped nitrogen with option C. Inside the actual data, the answer is nitrogen and the key was answer. But we have given the key as option A, B, option C, option D. To map this answer nitrogen with our mapping, so we just need to compare the value. If value is corrected, so we have find the key, what we are using correct value, and use that answer as a key. So now in our terms, answer C, which is nitrogen binded, will be the answer. Now job is to show the questions and options to the user. So we will do using the question data items will gives all the keys and value. If key is not equals to answer, we will print the data, because what we are trying, we are just showing the user question and 4 options A, B, C, D, not the answer. So if we have the key as answer, we do not print. Rest all the keys are to be printed. So let me show you till this point how our question is going to print. See, this is the pattern what we are expecting, that with the question number, the question itself, the option A, B, C and D. Now it's time to capture the user input. So we have printed the question and the 4 options for the user. Now it's time to get the answer from the user. So we will use the user answers, question.get answer, the actual answer based on our data structure, which we have appended as a key. So we expect answer in the terms of either A, B, C and D. So user can answer in any way, like small character or uppercase or title case, something any way, with a space, without a space, something like. So what we have did, we have stripped the blank space from the string or the from the input and converted into uppercase. If the user gives the input as in uppercase, it's already fine. If it's in the lowercase, we have converted that into the uppercase, because we have our option in the uppercase only. So now we'll capture the user answers. If user answer is answer key holds the option A, B, C, D. If something, let's say option 3 is the correct answer, and user enter C only, either it could be lower or uppercase C. So we'll check if user have entered something like C, then we need to make it authenticate that the user have given the right answer. Sometimes user can, rather than giving the input as A, B, C, D, he can simply write the name of the option directly, what the option value is. Let's say if the option value is something like 1996 for any of the question related to the year, so user either can enter C or 1996, something like that. So we need to check if the user are given the C as answer or the value itself like 1996. So in the both the case, the user should be given the points. So we will append 10 points for each correct answer. And if the user entered the wrong answer, which is not present in these two, either not in the key of the answer, not the answer itself, So we'll check, do the user want to quit or continue. So if user input is not in Q or X terms, that means user do not want to quit. If user do not have given any character like Q or X, that means user eventually given the wrong answer. Or we will append incorrect list with the question number and the answer given by the user, that for this question a user has given this answer but which is incorrect. If user has actually want to quit it and give Q or X as an character, we will break the loop and we will exit the code. Now we have, is everything goes right, we have asked the question to the user have either given the correct answer or wrong answer. In case of wrong answer, we will append the list. In the case of a right answer, we will give the 10 points. And now the question is already asked, so it's time to move to the next question. So we will remove this question ID, which already have asked IDs we have in the question list. So we will remove this current ID. So next time, select the question ID from the IDs, so it won't repeat itself, because the ask question ID has already been removed. So the code will not repeat the same question again and again. And we will decrement the question ask counter with -1. So we have defined the question ask counter as a 5. After asking one question, the question gets full. Next question 3, 2, 1 and 0. And once all the 5 questions is asked, or the game gets over. And we had just assigned the separations with a double underscore, so each question have a properly separation, so we can understand these are two different questions. So after creating the separation, if the game ends, we will because we are providing these two print statement outside the while loop. So once all the question is asked, the 5 question, user given the answers, get the points. If incorrect, we have updated the incorrect list. If everything goes well and game ends after 5 questions, we will say whatever the name of the player which he enters over here, the well played player, your score is point, the current value of point which he have get on the correct answers. So we will score, your score is point out of the question counter, that means we have 5 questions. So we will multiply with the 10. So out of 5 questions, that means 50 questions, the user get the 10 points something. Let's say if I change to the, so if we change the question length from here to 10, then next time the 10 question will be asked with the user and the points will be 100 out of something 20, 50, 80, whatever correct answer the user gives at the end. And we will print the incorrect answer list, so user can understand that these were the question for which he has given the wrong answers. Successfully executed. At the end, we will print finally and return this function with the messages bye bye. So now see how this games looks. So we need to enter the name of the player. Let's say the first question is the question and the 4 different options. So now expect me to answer. So I will answer. So something like random A. For question 2, let's random B. For random C. And for this question random E. And for question fifth question random A. So it says out of 50 I got 20 points. Out of 50 I have given the 2 correct answers for which I got the 20 points. And the incorrect answers are question number 1, which I have given input as an A, which was incorrect. For question 2, the input was B, so which is incorrect. And for question number 4, I have given the input as A, which was incorrect. So it won't tell you the correct answer. So each time you play with the same zeal, that this time you just want to know the correct answers. So this is the project. So I hope you like this project and you have learned anything from this project. It will be great if I have made your learning a little valuable and interesting. And if you have any concerns regarding the concept, the next topic, or any feedback for me for this video which I can enhance or make a better approach on that thing. So do let me know in the comment section. We'll waiting for you.